1,000 worlds to dust. Looking for those who robbed me of my glory. I will stride across their bones. And all of existence shall be mine.
What is up, people of the Snyderverse? Welcome to a brand new Snyder Cutty kind of breakdown video. I wanted to start off this video with that awesome Darkseid version of a Justice League Snyder Cut teaser trailer, and it was just in the form of a Twitch ad. I've been wanting to show this for days and talk about it, but I've been waiting for maybe a higher quality version to come out, but this is the best that we've got so far. But overall, in today's video, I just want to go over some recent news roundups, break down a couple of the trailers that we got recently that you may or may not have seen. But for example, in this one, what I love most of all is that we get awesome new little teasers of some of the more interesting things that fans want to see in the film, such as a great look at the Knightmare Flash suit. We get Joker looking at the Joker card, laughing away in Jared Leto's kind of unique laugh, even though this one was a bit of a prolonged version, which is, I'm really looking for, I think we're all looking forward to seeing what Jared Leto is going to bring this time round. Speaking of Jared Leto, we also got a little teaser of that very filming for that scene from Zack himself. Right now you're seeing on screen a little snippet shared from Snyder of obviously the behind the scenes filming for the Knightmare sequence, which is going to feature obviously Ezra Miller's Flash, Cyborg, Batman, as we see in that first Darkseid little teaser put at the beginning of this video, but also Deathstroke teaming up with Batman, putting their past dramas behind them, as what we've been teased before with Deathstroke in a Knightmare sequence. They've got a lot of baggage behind them, considering the solo Batman film was going to be about Deathstroke killing everyone dear to Bruce and just completely unraveling Batman. Well, in this version, they kind of put it behind them because obviously in a post-apocalyptic Darkseid world, you kind of need to make this world work with what you've got. I mean, for crying out loud, that's why they're, you know, working with the Joker as well. Now, one thing I'm intrigued about is that Steppenwolf's hand on Clark in that moment, because Clark looks somewhat terrified in that moment, but how cool. Just imagine if that's Darkseid's hand. Now, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just fun, entertaining speculation. And I have to say, I absolutely love Ray Porter's Darkseid voice, because the lines he says are just so menacing, especially with the delivery and obviously how they added a little bit of reverb onto Ray Porter's actual Darkseid voice. But we hear him say, "I have turned 100,000 worlds to dust, looking for those who robbed me of my glory. I will stride across their bones, and all of existence shall be mine." And as we see at the end of that teaser, we see the world get completely wrecked with such a devastating effect. And of course, we get like a really cool face-on look of the Apocalypse technology hologram, if you will, you know, kind of what we've seen before with Lex Luthor. And we also saw another angle of this in the Snyder Cut trailer, like the big one, but now we get to see a couple more angles with the trailers we're discussing today. Now, for all the hardcore Snyder fans who really want to be in every moment, live, breathe every part of the Snyder Cut, there is a red carpet event of Zack Snyder's Justice League, March 17th, 8 PM PST. Of course, the live event will be on the official Snyder Cut Facebook page, but also the YouTube channels for HBO Max, as well as DC Comics. So if you've been living, breathing Snyder Cut for all this time, I just thought I'd chuck that in there just in case you didn't know that was happening. I'm sure there's going to be some cool little tidbits here and there for the red carpet event of Zack Snyder's Justice League. But we, of course, got other character promos for Cyborg, The Flash, Wonder Woman, and most recently Steppenwolf. So what I would like to do is play those for you right now. Some of you may have seen them already, but still, sit back, relax, and if you have seen it or if you haven't seen it, watch these paired mini trailers as kind of one longer piece, and then, yeah, we'll dive into it.
This world is divided. Too separate to be one. No protectors here. This world will fall. Like all the others. For Darkseid, I have turned 100,000 worlds to dust. And when this world is scorched, all of existence shall be mine.
I want you to listen to me, Barry, because I mean this.
I'm putting together a team of people with special abilities.
You can be whatever you want to be. I can't sit here and watch you run in place.
You'll have to run faster than you've ever attempted.
You're brilliant, man. Absolute best of the best.
Make your own future, your own future. Make your own past, make your own past. It's all right now.
Evil does not sleep. It waits.
Something is coming.
Back to the Dark Ages. The devil and his army. You know,
the world is broken.
this is the only way.
I watched your island burn.
Show him your fear!
They said the age of heroes would never come again.
Don't engage alone.
We do this together. Whatever happened to you, you have gifts now.
Everything breaks, Victor.
I can't wait to see what you can be
In the
tomorrow.
world of ones and zeros, you are the absolute master.
These boxes will get inside you and find your weaknesses and your fears.
Take your place among the brave ones.
I'm not broken. And I'm not alone.
So I think it's safe to say that those trailers, at least for me, generated quite a bit of hype. I really like the way they're teasing certain aspects for the film, for each character, in ways that we have seen, but also little sneak peeks at what we haven't seen before. So starting with the Darkseid Steppenwolf trailer, what I really liked, once again, is the really kind of menacing lines from the bad guys. So with Steppenwolf, he was talking about how the world is divided, too separate to be one. There's no protectors here. This world will fall. But also just in the Steppenwolf / Darkseid teaser trailer, which is the one where I thought when we would get to Darkseid on social media, they would have released a Twitch ad version, but nope. But either way, this is kind of like a hybrid trailer. The more I see the Steppenwolf armor, the more I'm impressed with it. Just in case you guys haven't been following my Snyder Cut videos for a long time now, when we got our first look at the new spiky kind of look for Steppenwolf, I didn't dislike it. I thought it was quite clean looking, but for me, I just still thought like, I just wasn't fully sold on it. But the more we've been seeing the polished CGI, the polished looks, I'm getting more and more on board with it. As I said, I do want to stress that that doesn't mean I've ever disliked it. It's just, I wasn't sure what to think about it. I felt like maybe it was a bit too eccentric with the amount of kind of pointy ends on it. But yeah, I'm appreciating it a lot more, especially from these teasers. Get another angle of that Darkseid Apocalypse hologram, as I keep mentioning, and Darkseid just looks, he looks really cool, like more video gamey here, just because he's not there in person. But I just love how much of a presence he has, even through a little communication blocky, weird-ass thing like that. I'm still confused as to why it appears, at least, in Steppenwolf's armor being stripped off his body here, like as to why it seems he's getting naked here. But of course, as for the latter part of this trailer, seeing all of the united armies, especially seeing Zeus charge that freaking bolt up in preparation for the absolute barrage of battle that is about to commence. Yeah, let's just say I'm really excited to see a very extended version of the history of Uxas against the United Peoples of Earth. Now, the next one I want to talk about is The Flash. Well, we've seen some of this footage before, but yet again, as much as this shows us footage, we get little snippets at what we haven't seen before. So first of all, we kind of hear Henry Allen's words to his son when Barry goes to visit him in prison, and I really can't wait for maybe more extended scenes and lines from that, because one thing, even though I'm not fully sold on Ezra Miller as The Flash, personally, I really felt like the most serious turn of his chops, shall we we say, his acting chops and how he isn't always eccentric, was those scenes with his father, which do demand a serious presence, because obviously you're not going to be joking and stuff when you're visiting your dad, who's been put away in prison for the murder of your mother, which he didn't commit. Like, do you know what I mean? But like, I liked Ezra most in those scenes, and I really liked the actor for Henry Allen, so I can't wait to see more of that. But in the scenes that we saw of Iris, something we didn't see before is this scene of where his Flash shoes, shall we say, get completely torn up due to the sheer force and shift of that immediate turn while engaging the Speed Force. Now, not so subtle with the shoes, Barry, with the Flash symbol, but where can I get a pair of those? I would really like that. I trust that he probably spray painted a stencil of that himself on there, which I kind of like is a little touch to his character. Whilst I think of it as well, in other news, we also have confirmation that Kiersey Clemens, who plays Iris West, will return and reprise her role as Iris West, because I remember this was a long time ago now. I think amongst all of the Snyderverse collapsing at the time, I'm pretty sure that actress said that she wasn't gonna be Iris anymore, but now it's like, okay, ignore any of that, like she's coming back to play the same character, Iris West, for Ezra Miller's Barry Allen in the Flash movie coming next year. Now, honestly, I don't know what to make of that Barry scream. I've got a billion ideas of what it could be. Could that be a flashback from the scream from Henry Allen on a night, the night where it all went down, if you know what I mean, and maybe he hears that scream as he's going throughout the Speed Force? That would be really, really cool. I would love to hear your theories about that. Maybe it's nothing, but that Barry scream was very dramatic. It could just be from another character that we know, but I just can't recognize the audio from. But I feel like it would be really dramatic if, when Barry is running through the Speed Force, attempting to run faster than he ever has before, as Batman says himself and requests Barry to do in order to do what he needs to do in the film, if he hears, you know, just like what the CW's Flash has done, he kind of got glimpses of the past, the present, and the future in weird kind of memories of ambiguous noises and sounds and visuals. It'd be so cool if we got that. But also, I know this probably isn't it. How cool would it be if that Barry scream was from the Reverse Flash? Now, obviously, they haven't cast an actor, or they could have used a stand-in actor. And by the way, I'm not being serious right now. It's just I'm entertaining my own fan desires of how cool would it be if, when Barry travels through that Speed Force in this movie, that Barry was more of a ferocious scream for Barry from Eobard Thawne. That would have been such a nice touch. I know we're most likely definitely not getting that, but it would technically work because the Speed Force and how it's all intertwined with the past, the future, this, that, and the other. That would be a really nice villainous touch, teasing his arch nemesis. And at this point, Barry would have no freaking idea who that voice is. But yeah, it's probably Henry Allen or someone else just screaming out his name. But talking about the Speed Force, we get another look at the Speed Force. I really appreciate this. I think it's such eye candy whenever I see any artistic interpretation of the Speed Force. We've seen it in The Flash, on the CW, but now we're really seeing it on the movie screen with movie level budget effects, and I have to say, it looks awesome. We hear Barry's lines of "make your own future, make your own past," and that just kind of makes me think of what he's going to think when he decides to run back or whatever during Flashpoint, because one of the main motivations for that is to kind of make his own future through making his own past the way it should have always been, but like it doesn't really go well. As for the Wonder Woman character spot, a lot of familiar footage as well, but once again, love the lines of "evil does not sleep, it waits," which is very symbolic of Darkseid in the past, and Uxas has been here before in that battle, but that evil never went away, it waited until now, which obviously brings about this whole Justice League premise of a movie in the first place. I absolutely loved also hearing Hippolytus say, "show them your fear," and the Amazons are like, "we have no fear." It's just so epic. It kind of gives me chills on the back of my freaking neck. This all just speaks to the larger sequence that we're going to see with the Amazons and all of those armies against Uxas and Steppenwolf and just all that stuff in the past. It's going to be, there's so much they can do with that compared to what we saw in the Justice League version. And I really do appreciate this look at the supercharged Steppenwolf with those kind of glowing, imbued blue eyes. As for the Cyborg trailer, my favorite moment, I think, is probably everyone's favorite moment, which is that kind of own Superman-esque taking flight scene. That was just really well done, where you see all of kind of the different aerodynamical freaking bursts of air getting ready to kind of take off. It was just really cool, paired with the lines of "I'm not broken and I'm not alone." We also saw him kind of envisioning the world in destruction. Overall, Cyborg is a huge part of this film. Snyder says himself it is literally hinged on the soul of like what is Cyborg as a character. So we're going to get a lot of Cyborg justice in this movie if that is something that you have been looking for. But that is the main kind of nerd out session I wanted to have, guys. A lot of you have been asking me my thoughts on these character spot promos, but I kind of wanted to wait until a few of them were released to kind of just do one mishmash video. Now, guys, very importantly, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss out on a future Zack Snyder Justice League update, but also my breakdown, of course, and review, because I will be doing all of that good stuff, like a non-spoiler review, my thoughts on that, and then obviously the overall breakdown, which I'm going to have to sift through 4 hours. That's going to be a mind blast of a session and a video, but you can trust that we're going to talk about that on this channel at some point in time, so make sure you are prepared by not missing out. And how can you do that? By clicking the subscribe button with the notifications set to all. And a lot of you aren't subscribed who watch these videos, so especially if you got to this point, like the video, subscribe. I'm going to shut up now, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you people of the Snyderverse in the next video. Goodbye.